In this video, we will talk about the approval voting method. So here's how this method works. Voters approve or disapprove of each candidate. The candidate with the most approval votes is the winner. So let's check out an example of how to use this method. This says, the following table shows the results of an approval vote among 4 potential candidates, A, B, C, and D. Determine the winner using the approval voting method. So in this table right here, here's how to interpret the values. We can see that 30 of the voters, of the total voters in this election, said that they approve of A, B, and C, but they did not approve of candidate D. Similarly, 22 voters said that they approve of A and D only. 11 voters said that they approve of B and C only, and so on. So that's how to interpret the table. So what we want to do is just add up the total number of approval votes for each candidate. So if we start with candidate A, we can see that in this column right here, and in this column, and in this column, candidate A was approved by the voters. It has a check mark in each of those columns. So the total number of voters who approved of A was 30 plus 22 plus 15. So that's a total of 67 voters who approved of candidate A. Now we can repeat the process for B. So we'll just count the columns where B has a check mark. So we can see in this column and this column, candidate B has a check mark. So the total number of voters who approved of candidate B was 30 plus 11 for a total of 41. Next, we'll move on to C. So we can see in this column, and this column, this column, and this column, candidate C has a check mark in each of these columns. So the total approval votes for C would be 82. And then lastly, we can find the approval votes for D. So we can see in this column and this column, this is where candidate D was approved of. So the total number of approval votes would be 22 plus 26. So candidate D had a total of 48 approval votes. So we can see that candidate C had the most approval votes. So we would say candidate C is the winner. So that was just a quick example of how you can use the approval voting method to determine the winner of an election.